How to stop toddlers and children rising early, how to stop them from waking at 5 a.m. My name's Ruth, I'm a health visitor. Let's get into it. First things first, I have a toddler and older baby and child sleep guide. It's £5 links in my bio. The reviews speak for themselves. This will teach you how to stop co-sleeping, bed sharing, which is the same thing, feeding to sleep, waking in the night for bottles, how to get rid of the dummy, how to help stop early rising. But I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour of what is in there around early rising. I'm not going to waste too much time on talking about making sure the environment's okay. So we don't want coldness to be waking them up. Put socks on them when it's cold. We don't want light waking them up, making sure the room's pitch black. And we don't want noise waking them up. Is there something at 5 a.m. that's happening every single day that you don't know because it's happening outside? Have white noise playing to drown that noise out. This one may come as a surprise to you because we are convinced that overtiredness is the culprit for everything, but actually undertiredness can be blamed for a lot more than we think. Putting them to bed too early, say 6 p.m, and then expecting them to do 12 hours for some children isn't doable. Some children and toddlers and babies only need 10 hours, some only need 9 hours. So if you're putting them to bed at 6 p.m. and then they're waking at 4 or 5 a.m, you can see here maybe their sleep cup's already full. If they're dropping a nap, it's likely overtiredness. You know, there's that really tricky period of going to bed a little bit too early to try and catch up, and then one day they're napping, one day they're not. That can be overtiredness, and that just is going to sort itself out. You need to be boundaried and consistent with the bedtimes that you're offering. So if they've dropped a nap, do go a little bit earlier, and then you can build that time back up again. If you think it's undertiredness, so they haven't built up enough sleep pressure, start pushing bedtime 15 minutes later each night. See if that makes a difference. If they're over the age of 18 months and they are napping, say they're waking at 4, 5, 6 a.m, although 6 a.m. isn't classed as early rising, say 4 or 5 a.m, and they're then going back to sleep at 7 a.m, this can actually be causing early rising. So from 18 months plus, we don't really want to be seeing a nap pre-midday. Going to sleep at midday for their nap is going to help build that sleep pressure up again, and then sleep pressure again up to bedtime. So if they are napping at 7 a.m, their body is then getting used to waking, and then it's okay, I'll go back to sleep again in a couple of hours. So try pushing that nap later and later and later. This one's a little unusual, but if it is a new behaviour that you're seeing, and say they've started toilet training, they're waking at 5 a.m, going for a wee, and then they can't get back to sleep. This is something I have done with my eldest, and it has worked. She got into the habit of waking at 5:15 every single day. I actually woke her up half an hour earlier. I went into her room at 5:15, took her for a wee, I laid her back down, I put her audiobook on, and I said, snuggle up with your bellies, it's still the middle of the night, and she re-linked that sleep cycle. She went back to sleep, and it made her sleep until 6:30. So sometimes if they got into a habit, we can wake them a little bit earlier to try to break that habit, waking earlier, still in the night-ish, in hope that they'll go back to sleep. It doesn't work with every child, but it does sometimes work. Grow clocks are your best friend. They're allowed to play in their room, they're allowed to play with their toys in their room, but they're not allowed to come out until the sun comes up. Have a look at my sleep guide. Any other questions, put them in the comments.